All right, guys, so we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. We'll do this kind of countdown style of our top 5 sellers for, so far this year for 2025. So here's our Etsy shop. Currently we have 100 listings. I am starting to upload some DXF and SVG cut ready files. So I think only 3 of these 100 are cut files. That's something I literally just started doing last night. So 97 things that are, actual items that we're selling. So we'll start with number 5. Also, I just want to show you guys, if you don't want to do Etsy, we also have our own personal website. I have spent so much time, creating this website. It's just metalyourway.com. Our business name's Metal Your Way. And I created this through Wix. I set this up probably 3 years ago. And, Wix is pretty user-friendly to get a nice, pretty website. But I will say probably 98% of our sales come from Etsy. So I think we're probably going to get rid of the website once it's time to renew and solely just use our domain for Etsy. So our number 5 item is this wire brushed farmhouse windmill with wood backing. So this measures approximately, I want to say it's 24 inches by 5.5 inches. And we sell this for $64.99. We offer free shipping on everything that we sell on Etsy. So that's something you guys, want to make sure that you're taking into account. A lot of research, supports that free shipping usually brings more sales. So you can always just kind of work that into your price. We've sold quite a few of these this year. One thing I want to note, guys, is if you're doing CNC plasma for artsy stuff, you don't always have to do just metal signs. Like, this one looks nice with the wood backing, so that's something that, you could always offer. So we literally just burn the wood, and then we don't paint the metal. We just, clean it up real good, and then screw it to the piece of wood and use a clear polyurethane to just kind of spray over the whole thing to finish it so it doesn't rust or anything. So that's our number 5 top seller. Our number 4 top seller would be these 2 eagle flags. So this one on the left is a file that we actually bought off of Etsy, and then we decided just to heat treat it because it makes it just really pretty. We do sell more of this than this one. This one is something that we created ourselves. So we drafted this, and we sell these for 20-inch, $76.99, 24-inch, $114.99, 30-inch, $164.99. And then the other one, you can see the sizing options here. The reason that we charge $5 less for this one is for the 20-inch, we just make it out of 16 gauge, and then the larger ones we use 14 gauge. Whereas the 20-inch one of this, we charge $5 more because we use 14 gauge for all of the sizes of this one. Just because you have all these kind of thinner pieces out on the edge, it's a lot more durable with just using 14 gauge for all of it. So that's why there's a price difference there. And again, we heat treat both of these, which if you guys have never heat treated before, we have a video on that as well. So our number 3 bestseller would be our bourbon line of signs. So here's all of our bourbon signs. As you guys know, a lot of people are really into bourbon nowadays. So one thing I can say, guys, is be creative. Our best sellers are the things, that we have come up with, and didn't just buy all these generic files on Etsy and just, have the same thing that 150 other people are selling. So our top bourbon sign, which this is our 3rd best seller on Etsy currently, is this little Bourbon Glass. And typically, people buy it in the black. We have different primary colors. So our kind of stock colors are the matte black, just raw steel, frosted pearl, and this hammered copper. So here you can see, here's the hammered copper. So we also offer it with saying either bourbon or whiskey, but I will say we sell more of the Bourbon Glass. So again, guys, just, just try and be creative with what you're offering. And this is $34.99, and it's not that big. It's made out of 16 gauge, and it's only 10.5 inches by 7 3/4. So, it's a nice small sign that you can fit on your bar. I know some people have actually got like a little stand just to set on top of their bar. But yeah, this one we sell a lot of. All right, our number 2 best sellers is something that we actually just started offering, oh gosh, I'd say 2 months ago. So I think the only reason it's not our number 1 seller is because it's a newer item. So it would be these luminaries or lanterns. I've heard them called many different things, garden pillars, whatever you want to call them. Our best seller is this one. And we offer them in 3 different sizes. So here you can see a video. They're really pretty at night. So we offer them in 18-inch, 24-inch, and 30-inch. And you can see our pricing here. I will say a lot of trial and error went into designing these. We have on the 2 smaller sizes, we have this kind of single puck light with 1 LED. And when we started making the 30-inch sizes, they weren't bright enough. So we ended up changing the top light. So this is the 30-inch. So we have this larger light with multiple LEDs. So I will say it does give you a different, the light coming out of it appears different than it does with the single LED light. So that's why I wanted to show on our Etsy page, the difference. And in the description, I make note of that so no one gets upset if they order the 30 and it looks a little different. But you can see it a lot better from a distance at night, which I think is more important. We also include 4 stakes to kind of stake it into the ground. So you can see here on the bottom, we have holes. So, that way it doesn't blow over in a big storm or anything. So that would be here you can see the different sizes. So that is our 2nd best seller. Also, one thing I want to note about these is we don't put any type of finish on them. So we don't powder or paint them. They are raw steel, so they will patina over time, and they actually look really pretty, once they have that nice patina. All right, so our number 1 best seller is the Hummingbird Wind Spinner. We offer a few different styles of wind spinners. We're set up in a shop in Hocking Hills, Ohio, and we have some down there that we don't even have on our Etsy page or personal website. But these are by far our best seller. We make these out of 16 gauge. We ship them flat, and then it's up to the buyer to open them up when they get them. And we actually created a video on that and have it in our description down here. So if anyone is not sure, how to do it, you just follow that URL. But yeah, guys, these are by far our best seller. They look really pretty. We heat treat these, and then we coat them with that same clear coat thick polyurethane, which I'll actually show you guys at the end of the video, because we've tried so many different clear coats, and that polyurethane spray we use is far superior than anything else that we have tried. So these are 12 inches. They do come with the little swivel hook, so they're ready to go other than opening them. And we offer these for $44.99, again with free shipping. All right, and this is the spray that we use to coat all of our heat treated stuff. It's called Rust-Oleum Triple Thick Glaze High Gloss Coating. Again, guys, I've used pretty much everything out there, and this stuff, bang for buck, it's $6.88 a can, and it goes a long way. It's a really good product, so I highly recommend. If you guys are doing clear coat on anything, to try this stuff out. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description. We typically get it on Amazon. They do sell it at Home Depot. I've found it for around the same price. And depending on where you guys live, we have Menards by us. I know they sell it there too. But typically we just get it on Amazon. All right, guys. So that's it in a nutshell. Like I said, the big thing is just be creative. Like I said, our best-selling things are typically the ones that we have come up with 100% from scratch. And one good thing I will say, if you do want to sell on Etsy, is they take care of all of your sales tax, which is huge, because our personal website that we use, through Wix, I have to do all the sales tax, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So it is a lot easier. Of course, Etsy takes their cut. So again, it's kind of all a numbers game, but don't ever sell yourself short. Make sure you're actually making a profit on these things. We're bad about that. But I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, please feel free, drop them in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.